Hello everybody, it's Eric with Better Every Shave. Today I have a video on one of my favorite new razors. Well, not new at all, actually it's a vintage razor, but it's new to me. It's the Ender's Speed. And I was hesitant to buy one of these for a long time because they take a proprietary blade. And these blades are long past having been manufactured, and the only ones you can get now, if you're lucky, are new old stock. They're not cheap, and they're very old, so I mean, I've heard people have had luck with stropping them and honing them and sort of getting a good edge on them, but to be honest, I just want to be able to pick it up and use it. So I had heard about a new product, sort of a specialty boutique product, and it is a blade holder and an adapter that holds a injector style blade and then fits into the Ender's Speed razor. So I was very excited about that, and I purchased one, and I've been using it, and I wanted to share it with you. So the way this works is, and actually I'll tell you what, before I go there, let me give you a little bit of background on this, on the Ender's Speed razor, in case you're not familiar with it. So let me go to the top-down view here and take a look at what we've got. So this is the box that it came in originally. These were produced, I believe, if my facts are right, my history's right, these were produced in the 30s, 1930s. I believe 1933 might have been the first year that they were released, and they were produced through the 40s, if I'm not mistaken, but in the 40s they were changed a little bit. So the original ones, this is the Ender's Speed razor. The revamp in the early 40s was the Ender's Speed shaver. And I think the difference between them is supposed to be this cutout here. So this is like a rounded sort of half circle or semicircle cutout. And apparently the Speed shaver has a rectangular cutout. And that's how you'd be able to tell them apart. This one has the black plastic handle. And you can see it says Enders on there, and then on the other side it has some patent information. And this is the black plastic. There are different colors. I believe there's a yellow and a red handle as well, and a green. Actually, yeah, I think there's a green as well. So there's those four colors: black, red, green, yellow. The black ones are the most common ones, so you will see the colored ones every now and then, but they are, I believe, much more expensive. I got this for about $10, and that's usually you can find them on eBay for about that price. So all right, so let's take a look at the original blade here again. So it's a little hard to see, but there's actually some writing on there. If you can tell, it's actually upside down. Sorry about that. So it actually says Ender's razor on there. This is a lot like the blade on a one blade razor, if you've ever seen how they work. So one blade sort of loads from the back, and the Feather FHS 10 blades are kind of similar to this, but the gist is that you've got this slot in the back, and you would put the blade, the edge in, and then let's see if we can hear this. Just sort of clicks into place, and then you see the edge is up to the guard here. So this is what we're trying to recreate, right? We want a blade that fits in here, and apparently you can use this as a shim. So some people have actually taken where they'll grind this down, and then you can put an injector blade, I guess, on top of it like this, and then sort of feed it in here. I have some dexterity issues, and my hands don't work as well as they used to. I don't trust myself with sharp blades to be sort of shoving things into razors and hoping for the best. So that's why I was so excited about this option. So the way this works is you take an injector blade, and this is a supply black label blade, just doesn't really matter. So there are magnets on the back of this, and it just will grab the blade and hold it in place. Okay. And then it will fit into the same spot as the blade would, and then click into place. So get that lined up, and oops, there we go. All right, so there you go. So once it's lined up and clicked into place, you see that the blade is lined up along the edge here, just the way that this proprietary one would have been, and gives you a nice, nice edge there. All right, so we've seen how that works. Let's do what we normally do, what I normally do here, which is to check out the weight, so the dimensions of this, the weight and length and all of that. So let's take a look. This is a very lightweight razor. It's pretty small and it is very lightweight. So in grams, we have 24.9 grams. And let's do this in ounces. And it is 0.874 ounces. All right, so it's pretty lightweight. Not so lightweight that it feels flimsy or anything like that. I mean, it's perfectly fine. It's just it's a bit on the lighter side. All right, and I'm going to call this 3 5/8 maybe, somewhere around there in inches, and in millimeters I'm going to say 93 millimeters. So yeah, so a little over 3.5 inches, which for a razor isn't bad. I mean, especially a vintage razor, it's not unusual for that size. So the curve of the handle is very comfortable to hold. Actually fits your finger. It's not that you hold it this way, but it's very comfortable to hold. The angle of the head is very comfortable. There's sort of a flat plane here, not as flat as something like, let's see, a gem. So here's a gem bullet tip, and so the flat plane on this is obviously much wider. So this affords you a little more flexibility in terms of the blade angle, and yeah, it's just a very comfortable. There's a little bit of an inset here on the edge or on the side of the handle, so it's a very secure sort of grip. There's a little bit of texture in there. Not sure if you can see there's some texture there. So yeah, very comfortable, and honestly, for being the age that it is in very, very good shape. And I think I paid all of like $10 for this, so they're not particularly expensive, at least not the black handled ones. All right, so that's the recap of. So that's my razor report for the Ender Speed. Let's go ahead and take a look at the shave. All right, time for a shave. Hey there. So we've got our Ender Speed razor with the adapter, and this is the Supply Black Label blade on its first use. I'm using the White Star line of soap from Hendrix Classics and Company, easy for me to say. And I bought the bar and the empty tub and chopped up the bar and squished it into the tub. I'm using my Jayara 347 Boar bristle brush and loading from the tub here. This is the Southern Comfort scent on this soap. And if you don't know, the white line from Hendrix Classics & Co. is their budget-friendly line. So a 3-ounce block of shave soap, either unscented or with a fragrance. I'm not sure, I don't remember which fragrance exactly they offer, but for a 3-ounce block of soap, it's $5.50. Or no, $5.25, I believe, which is just, I mean, it's crazy, right? It's very, very good soap. It's not the same base. I think it might have been their previous base, so it's not their top shelf base, but the soap quality itself is still extremely good. It's a lot of butters, a lot of like skin food type stuff, so it's really, really good stuff. I've been pretty much exclusively bowl lathering recently, so I don't know. I got a wild hair and decided I wanted to face lather. It's been quite a while, so normally what I do here is just paint on the soap. Well, I loaded the brush as you saw, and then I paint it on, and then I start dipping the tips and just adding some water and mixing it in, and then I wait until it sort of starts to get a little translucent, and then I will go ahead and start to splay. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but that's the process that I normally go through. Yep. And then, you know, there's something really satisfying about using a boar bristle brush on your face. It's not exactly exfoliating, I guess. It's maybe not the right word for it, but but it's definitely, I don't know, it's like relaxing. It feels good to me, at least. And so once I have that hydration in there and splay out and sort of build up a little bit of lather, it's not the same. It's interesting because bowl lathering is definitely, it's a different type of lather, but this is good too. So, all right, let's get in on this first pass and see how this feels. I think you can hear that a little bit, but yeah. So it's a light razor, as you saw from the measurements, and sometimes it can be difficult to judge exactly how much pressure. Well, I mean, you're not supposed to use any pressure, right? But just how much force it takes to hold the razor to your face without, digging in. And with a light razor, and this being the first time I've used it, I think I may have pushed just a tiny bit too much. I had a little bit of irritation after the fact, but we'll see that when we get to the alum test. But the first pass there, yeah, no drama, no issues. And I've really enjoyed this boar brush. I don't tend to use it to bowl lather that often. I have, but I don't know. I pretty much use it just for face lathering for whatever reason. And but I do enjoy it, and it's broken in very nicely. Yeah, so I'm just being really careful with skin stretching here after I cut myself with the Mamba, which is healed, obviously, but I just try to be careful now, do a little skin stretching. And then my across the grain for my neck is up. Yeah, and the angle of this is really nice. I mean, SE single edge razors in general, the angle to me is very intuitive. It just feels right, like holding it in my fingers, and the way it engages my face is a natural angle for my wrist and my fingers. I always feel like it just hits perfectly right. I don't have to really think about so much what the angle is, especially compared to a double edge razor, because a lot of times with the DE I feel as though I have to be very mindful of where the angle is of the blade, and keeping that angle as you swipe down and go across the edge of your jawline. I don't know, there are times where I find that's a little bit challenging. Whereas with a single edge, like I said, maybe it's the built-in angle of the head or what it is, but it's just very comfortable. So, all right. So this is the against the grain, and this is really where, obviously, this is where we're going to get the closest part of the shave, and just be quiet for a second to hear that. So yeah, there was still some whiskers left for that against the grain, and let's see. Yeah, in this spot too. So that spot where I'm going over right now is usually one of the hardest spots for me to get smooth. And it generally takes a pretty aggressive razor or a very sharp blade, or both, to clean that up quickly without me having to go over it many, many times and then causing a bunch of irritation. But this razor was able to go over that very quickly without much trouble. And I think I did just have some little bits of pickup I wanted to get. So this was my first shave with the underspeed and this adapter, and then I had another shave just a few days ago, and yeah, it was as good. It was actually a little better the second shave because I was more familiar with the razor. I didn't have to do all of this extra pickup, which is not a lot. I did lather a lot of my face, but if you saw it, I ended up not shaving all of it. All right, and we're going to check with the alum, see how it goes. Oh. No reaction yet. I don't really remember. Oh, the suspense. I couldn't have been too bad. Anything? A little bit. Okay, so a little bit, he says. Yeah, and I think the same spots that I normally have, which would just be along my jawline. So, nothing bad. And I believe what I did here was to just clean up and then use the White Star Balm, the aftershave balm, which that tub is, I think, around $8, $8.50, something like that. So it's a pretty large tub, and it's unscented. That I got unscented on purpose. The same order, I got a tub of unscented soap and unscented balm so that I could do the fragrance drops and be able to mix up my own fragrances to the strength that I want. So anyway, for this one, I don't think I put any fragrance in. I think I just used the unscented balm. And it's pretty good stuff. I mean, it really has a lot of smoothness, slickness to it. I have noticed that since I started using it, I've had less post-shave irritation. It's been a good experience using it, so I'm glad I got it. Well, there you have it. Another successful shave. And like I said, this razor is very aggressive, let's say efficient, but not in a way that is uncomfortable. I really appreciate actually that it is so efficient. There's something reassuring to me. I like feeling the blade. I like knowing that it's doing what I expect it to do. And within a few passes, you've really removed most of the stubble, and then once you hit against the grain, it's smooth as silk after that. So I'm a big fan of single edge razors. I don't think that's a secret to anyone who's been watching my channel or who I've interacted with on social media or otherwise. And this is yet another fantastic single edge razor that I'm very happy to own and enjoy using. I'm very glad that I got to share it with you today, and I hope that maybe someday in the future you see one of these and think about giving it a shot yourself. And I'll also link to the Hendrix Classics and Company page that actually I can show that here real quick just so you can see. So this is the page from Hendrix Classics and Company, and describes what it is and who makes it. It's Last Shadow, Ian, who actually makes these. And so I will have a link to this page down in the description of this video in case you're interested. And like I said, if this is something like, let's say you don't think you need this, just know that you also can do, like I was saying, the shim method where you would take the edge off of the proprietary blade and then just sort of wedge in another blade with it. Apparently a lot of people do that, and it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I just don't trust myself not to cut my fingers and do bodily harm. So I'm very happy to have this option. So that's it. Thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate it. Love to hear from you. If you have anything, comments, feedback, anything at all, please leave a comment below or find me on social media. And until next time, this is Eric saying, have a wonderful day, happy shaves, and I'll see you again real soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye.